So what does it mean to you to experience poverty?
To want something and know that you don't have the means, monetary-wise, to acquire it. And also to look around and see what others in your society have and know that you don't have it and you wouldn't be able to get it even if you wanted it.
So with so much wealth in the world, why do you think there's still so much poverty?
Because I think in our world economy, our world society, money creates power, and power has a desire to gain more power. So the money creates the power, and the power does not relinquish it.
So do you think America has poverty, or is it just third world countries that experience it?
Oh, I think if you look at, in any microcosm of society, there are impoverished parts based on what society feels is a want or a need. So within our country, while even our poorest people are so much probably better off, quote unquote, than the poor of a third world country, they are impoverished when they consider what it is they don't have compared to their fellow citizens.
So do you think Americans today are better off than they were a generation ago?
A generation ago, yes. If I think of myself and the previous generation, I think I'm better off. But I'm a little bit fearful for the generation to follow me.
So do you feel it's going to get worse, or?
I feel we're on a path where that's probably going to happen. I hope our country hasn't reached its peak, but with trends that I see going on, in terms of, as you referred to, the haves and the have-nots and the poverty and the rich and the poor, I think the trends that are happening for what will be bigger part of society in numbers, they might not experience what has been our dream that has been able to have been accomplished to this point.
So do you think Americans should care about economic hardship, and why?
Certainly. Well, we live in the best country in the world, the country with the strongest economy. I believe that in a country with this much wealth, we as a society should be taking care of each other. If somebody doesn't have as much, it should be on as an onus to the people with money to help the lowest levels of society maintain minimums.
So do you happen to know how many people are in poverty in our state?
Well, I'll go proportionally. If there were 4 million people in our state, I would say close to 1 million might be living in poverty. So 1 million to 4, so almost a little under 25%, maybe 20%.
What about our country?
I'd say it's somewhere close to that proportion.
So do you do anything within your community to try and eliminate or reduce poverty?
I do what I can. I contribute through my church and other organizations. I try to give food to somebody on the street if I have food. But I don't necessarily go out and raise money.
Do you think that Americans should do more to help the problem?
I think everybody that has a full belly should help those that don't. But I also think that those people that are in the top tier ought to be thankful that they have this country to protect them, and ought to give more than what the more middle class people would be able to provide.
So I'm going to read you a quote, and then you will tell me what it means to you. So the quote is, "My poverty is not complete. It lacks me."
My poverty is not complete. It lacks me. What does that quote mean to me?
Yeah.
I really don't know. Maybe everybody has some type of poverty, or should have some type of poverty in their life in order to better understand others. And unless you're in the position of being able to place yourself in a position of realizing that you have some poverty, then you wouldn't be able to reach out and help others. So if you haven't been in poverty, how are you going to know that people need your help if you haven't experienced it yourself?
So what do you think are the solutions to try and end poverty?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to take that question. I'll just take it in this country. We have a government that has plenty of money. Well, we have a country that has plenty of money, and the people that have, as I mentioned before, have plenty of money ought to share with the people that don't and try and distribute that wealth. And yes, they earned it. Yes, also they're in a country where they can earn it and keep it, and the lower level society will grab a gun and protect ultimately what is theirs. So they should feel free and happy to extend some of their wealth to others.